Bowls Australia acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
hopefully you can hear us now, and we've got some audio coming through for you. And it's Val Febo and Barry Lester here with you at the World Bowls Championships at Club Helens Vale. You missed the intro before, but we'll get back to it all. It's Daniel Salmon and Jared Breen, the Commonwealth Games winning pair of 2022, up against Aaron Wilson and Aaron Tees of Australia. Looking forward to this one. Barry Lester joins me. Baz, great to have you company.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Great, good to see another lefty out there. So that's quite a few games now we've covered the last couple of days, seeing a left-hander out there. And Daniel Salmon, Jared Breen, Commonwealth Games gold medalists from last year. And the Australian team of Teesy and Disco trying to finish on a high today after a really good battle through what they saw Jersey really pushed them early last game, and they want to try and finish on a high. And the green has just got to about 16, Val, so really running fast at the moment. Let's just hope that breeze drops off.
We do apologise for the sound issues, but yes, we're getting the comments and the confirmations that you can hear us now. So you did miss some Walkley winning stuff. I reckon you and I, Baz, we were absolutely on fire. I think there was laughter, there was emotion. It really revved us up, but unfortunately that's now gone. So, but it is first versus second here in Section 1, Baz, and Australia sitting on top thanks to their last win, 4 wins, 0 losses, and a shot difference of plus 81. 4 wins, 0 losses for the Welsh pair, plus 65. The winner of this will do their utmost to get themselves through to the quarterfinals. And a great start from Aaron Wilson. Aaron Tees.
Yeah.
Too many Aarons.
Yeah, and, geez, what a great start, really, with, as I mentioned, the breeze is still up a bit, but Aaron Tees straight away, wide side, forehand, playing in that east side in the north direction. Daniel Salmon, the beauty of having him leading, I know he's going pretty well. He's got all the shots in the book. He can play some good conversions if need be. He's just missing high here. Conditions will be slightly different to the other end of the green, which Aaron Wilson and Aaron Tees have just come from. But all in all, the majority of the time you do play on this surface at Helens Vale, that easterly breeze will be coming in. So green speed up around 16 seconds. We've got plenty of games going on next door. And all players will be probably early days, I would have thought, either missing their line slightly or being heavy, just adjusting to the quicker conditions. And as I see, there's quite a few bowls past the jack across the rinks.
Daniel Salmon also played singles for Wales at the Commonwealth Games last year. Couldn't get through his section. Gary Kelly and Ryan Bester were the two that progressed their way through.
So I was just saying before when our sound wasn't quite on there, Val, Jared Breen is the famous person who did a knee slide on the Birmingham Green last year, something I've never seen before. And
some say you can still see the scab.
Yeah, just that. I think the emotion took over, and obviously he's played a bit of soccer, and yeah. But you're going to see him get after this, no doubt. 3 down.
It was an epic win over England. They won it by a solitary shot, did Breen and Salmon. Salmon also won the 2018 Commonwealth Games, so he's a 2-time Com Games champion as he looks to net his maiden World Bowls title. What has Jared Breen got? Well, sits and stays. Great start for him.
That's perfection. That weight control is phenomenal. First delivery, not to go too big and explode the head or play it under. He's played perfect speed just to arrive. Aaron Wilson now. He's gone from 3 up to 1 down and looking for the jack here. Taking a couple of his own out. Needs to stay on. He's achieved that.
So this is really interesting. Jared Breen, what a great start for him. Just to work his way into this match. Very accomplished bowler. So we've changed rinks here. We've gone from rink 1 to 2 to rink 6. So we're sitting in a different spot on the other side of the green here at Helens Vale.
Jared Breen.
Oh, he's
a good bad bowl, that one.
Locked in.
Yeah, it's probably the last place he wanted to put it. Definitely can be used by Aaron Wilson here, but Aaron wants the jack in the ditch.
He's gone big.
Good
We've
body
got
language.
A really good view of this, Baz. He's not far away. Aaron Wilson. Jack is in the ditch. Now,
one shot to Australia.
Yep. But there is a wealth of room for Jared Breen to get to because the jack did sort of skew out the side. Have a look at the replay here. Aaron Wilson. He was in the area the whole way through. Got it. Sort of followed it in, so he's not too far away from it in the ditch.
Jared Breen.
The ball might have gone out of bounds.
Yeah. Went out of bounds. So he's one down. So he'll be looking to draw the shot here. Something similar to his first two deliveries, just on a higher line now. Doesn't have to add much more weight. He can afford to even just try and draw to the number here. He's put his hands out like he wants it to stop. It's a big effort, this.
Is it going to stop?
Not quite.
Just going to trickle into the ditch. So a really good start from Aaron Wilson. Aaron Tees did all the work at the beginning of the end. Jared Breen putting himself in a really good spot. And then Disco doing what Disco does best. And that is bringing the moves.
Yeah, both skippers contributing well there. Aaron Wilson just missing with his second attempt and then getting it with his last. Beautiful conversion. He wanted to be high. There was more options high just to get the plant, sit the bowl out clean, or get the jack. And he got half bowl, half jack. And Jared Breen just trickling into the ditch, having a good look at it, trying to get the shot. And Aaron Tees, he's playing the east side again. Both directions, and he's done well. Started off great. It's a very, very kind hand. This hand here at Helensvale, especially on these end rinks. It's a very nice even turn. Nice clean arc out there, as you see Daniel Salmon coming in nicely as well. You won't see too many bowls, I don't think, off the centre line on that hand.
And the wind just seems like it's died down a little bit, Baz. Obviously, we are under a bit of cover here, so don't really get to feel it too much, but seems like it's more of a slight breeze than what it was before.
Yeah, the bowls react quite nicely under the clubhouse here, especially if it's more of a southeasterly breeze. But yeah, as you can see, 3 bowls straight away, pretty much right down the middle. You'll see a lot of that. Letting the bowl do the work, trusting the arc, trusting the draw. As you see, Daniel Salmon, 2 rippers.
And Salmon, brilliant. I don't think anybody's ever trusted the arc if we're talking about AFL.
You'd never trust that.
No.
Noah's Ark.
Not at all. But back to the bowls. And I was actually trying to Google Dan Salmon before to get a bit more info on him. And apparently there was a Daniel Salmon as a famous veterinarian in the USA back in the late 1800s. So shares his name with a wealth of fame, apparently.
One of my favourite meals is salmon.
There you go.
Crispy salmon with a nice sprinkle of lemon and some broccolini.
Very nice.
And mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes are always good. That one just drifts through, gets a little bit of turn there, so the skips have analysed and thought. Let's see.
Aaron Wilson here on the attack already.
If you didn't know how to spell teas, there you go.
All right at home.
Belle McKenzie watching on from Ballina. She's a big, big, big Aaron Tees fan. I think the biggest Aaron Tees fan that there is.
Okay, Aaron Wilson. Straight at it was the call from Aaron Tees. He's not going as big as he normally does here. Sort of just playing more timing weight.
Just under. Lucas, any relation to Paul Salmon, the Bomber legend? No, I thought he was a Hawthorn legend, Paul. Lucas?
Yeah, wasn't he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a Hawthorn legend.
Yeah.
Played a couple of good games at Essendon. Essendon still, are they still, they're still in the comp? No, they're out, aren't they? That's right, we forgot.
Don't, Lucas might cry.
Yeah, Bombers a lot of work ahead of him. But Jared Breen, he's holding shot with Daniel Salmon drawing a clinker. And Jared Breen now, forehand it is. As you see that grip, palm, bowl right in the back of the palm. You'll notice at the point of release, he has to get his hand down, has to get the thumb and hand pointing down to get that release. There's Aaron Wilson. You see the bowl more in the fingertips. Here we go, forehand, bigger weight. He's all over this from here.
He's not far away. Teasy said no, Jack, and Disco willingly obliged.
Jared Breen switching to the backhand, open draw, hoping to put the bowl back. It's pretty good there. Probably needs to slow down or hit something. He's close to the jack here.
He might actually be taking this jack here, but no, it's worked out. It has worked. Bit of a scratch of the head for Teasy, but Disco's got one more left in the arsenal here.
Yeah, so Aaron Wilson, if he kills this jack, I think he goes straight at it. He's hitting. He's 2 out of 3 so far on the drive.
Teasy just says, yep.
Yeah, if he kills this, he's got 1 on the tee. Could get jack in both bowls.
It's big. It's coming. And it's not hitting. So an opportunity now for Jared Breen to pop the Welsh ahead.
Yeah, Jared Breen had to play forehand, backhand, forehand. So a bit of a mix-up so far, changing everything up. He's out on a high line. Not sure if it's going to get back. Weight's okay. Needs to keep leaning. Just getting stuck out there. So 2 it is to Wales. Early chat already. So as we see there, we're only 2 ends in, but the skip and lead. Just having a chat about length already. As Daniel Salmon didn't quite find it on the first end this direction. So just a little chat. So much communication required in a sport like bowls in a team event. So jack length, 32 metres.
So let's see how they go when they control the length here, the Welsh. They're a very accomplished team. We know Disco and Teasy will have their work cut out for them. And vice versa. This is promising to be a wonderful contest.
As you can see how that bowl's finished, so almost the full face of that bowl is pointing back at the clubhouse. That's a good indicator of not only the size of the draw and how sharp it is, but the pace of the greens. If you're getting the full face of that bowl pointing back to where it came from, it's a good indicator. And Aaron Tease's bowl has done exactly that, but it's got the jack on the end of it. So Aaron Tease so far 2 touches on the backhand this direction. We've got 1 on the first end.
So Wales with the Welsh pronunciation of the country on the back of their shirts there. Cymru, I'm told, by our resident Welshman, Lachlan Williams.
Australian Jackaroo, former Australian Jackaroo, now staff member, born in Wales, went home recently and visited family over there. Rebecca Van Ash.
She born in Wales.
Sure was.
There you go.
We toured over there in 2013 and Beck had some family come and watch.
Oh, nice.
A few Jackaroos born overseas.
Kelsey Cottrell, New Zealand.
Lindsay Clark.
She was England, wasn't she?
Yeah. So Daniel Salmon. That's going to be a good reply anyway.
Yep.
Nice home.
You could say Beck still lives overseas.
Well, England's best cricketer was left New Zealand at 12, so Stokes.
How many of the South Africans did they have too?
Yeah, it's good to see though.
Strauss,
Why
Tony
not?
Gregg,
Why not?
Peterson, and why not Aaron Tease?
Exactly. What a shot, Teasy. Good home there. Jared Breen marching up the green there. Aaron Wilson staying down with Teasy. Jared Breen, forehand. Just looking to just arrive. Probably wait till Daniel Salmon's back to sit the shot bowl, trail the jack.
What's he got here? We know that they're swooping, and it's swooped late here for Jared Breen. That is magnificent.
He's played some absolute crackers so far. First end, front toucher almost. Backed it up with the trail for 2, second end, and now he's gone from 2 down to 3 up.
Sensational. Have a look at the way this came in. You can't even see it, and then it just darts back.
He's definitely forcing Aaron Wilson to recover and play a bit of a arriving weight, which he's done. But he's achieved the tee there, Aaron Wilson.
Vince Calabrese watching from Leppington in Sydney. Good to have your company. He always watches. Jared is on fire. Looking very, very dangerous.
Yeah, just as we see there. Gets the bowl away nice and smooth. Jared Breen gets down nice and low. A lot of lower body movement. Big bend in the knees and a huge, huge turn from the torso. Gets nice and low. A little bit of Jonathan Tomlinson in his delivery and the way he holds the bowl. Great Welsh player, JT. Hope you're doing well, mate. Well, that's going to stay in. Aaron Wilson he's played 5 drives already. He's 3 out of 5. He's on target. And the 2 he's missed have only been just.
Yeah, he's been very, very close. His eyes in. Katie, the bowls that all 4 of these players are using. Henselite Dreamline XGs. Makes my life easy when I'm trying to get their bowls off them. Really good start to the tournament from both of these teams. Neither of them has registered a defeat yet.
Jared Breen had a look at this similar shot earlier.
I reckon he'll pull up this time, but
he's come back nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do. So it's about 5 foot short of the ditch, but enough a shot.
Disco, he's generally when he runs in behind it, you know that he's interested. And he just needs it to get down now because it's got to get to the boundary peg. It's got to run. It's got to run. It stops, and he's got it, Aaron Wilson. Look at where it's pulled up on the left of screen. Right on the precipice of the boundary peg, but he's got it.
Yeah, it's just something about drawing to the ditch. If Aaron had normally 5 feet to draw to a jack somewhere up the green, you'd still get a clap, but the crowds, there's just something special about it. That knowing that you just have to pull up short of going in, played it to perfection, especially coming off a weighted shot. So 3 down, weighted shot, 1 down, 1 up. Aaron Wilson.
Sensational.
I think that might get some flame emojis too.
Yep, 100%. Aaron Wilson, absolutely monstrous. Member of the crowd voices their appreciation for Disco, and he gives them a little bit of a thumbs up and a wink. Good to see his engagement with the crowd.
And his recent engagement to Jamie Lee.
Yes, in Rome.
Oh, wow. Daniel Salmon right on top of it here.
Beautiful.
There it is again. Both bowls right down the middle. That hand is just so clean.
Yep. Matty Flapper watching on. Baz, that Wilson bloke goes okay, hey? Good to have your company, Matty.
He's just lacking a couple of rotations here, but good track. So Daniel Salmon, left-hander. Just looking to get back somewhere around that centre rink again. He's done it well.
This is already shaping up to be a classic We had a big one in the afternoon yesterday, women's fours, Australia versus Canada. It was close the entire way through. And this one looks as though it's going to be much of the same.
Yeah, everyone contributing fairly well so far. So you can see that last bowl. Look at the angle that's finished, Val.
Yep.
That is facing, the bias side of that bowl is facing directly back to the other end of the green. That's the sharpness we're seeing. Look at this bowl come right angles outside the peg.
And that is expert leading from Dan Salmon. Like a salmon going upstream. Effortless.
Yeah, making it look easy. Still fairly tricky out there. Even though that hand is a nice wide drawing hand, still a bit of breeze around. So Aaron Wilson 3 down here.
Let's see what Disco can do.
Let's try and cut it back early if you can. I think his weight was probably good enough. Just probably probably about a bowl and a half narrow for him.
Barbara, just clarifying that. No, they just all happen to be using Henselite XGs. They can choose whatever bowl they want as long as they've got the red and the blue set. Just all choosing to use Henselite XGs.
Of course, Aaron using a duo, a multicolour bowl there.
They're the bowls that Disco used at the Australian Open, Baz.
Yes, no, he's used them for quite a while now.
Bob Borman watching on, former Bowls Australia president. Great to have your company, Bob. Great
G'day,
fella.
Bobby. Hope you're well, mate. I'll see you in January, mate. Live Golf coming back to Adelaide. Can't wait. What a shot, Jared Breen.
Jeez, this is an ominous sign for the Aussies because the Welshmen are proving to be a handful.
Yeah, good call from Aaron Tees. I like this. Just try and still nullify the count here. Cut it back to 1 or 2 or even draw the shot and then maybe go with your last.
Aaron Wilson, we know that they're darting back. Has he got enough on it? He falls through the gap and a collective groan echoes through the crowd sitting alongside us. He was not far away, Baz.
Daniel Salmon, just saying to Jared Breen, as much as I'd like you to draw another one, I wouldn't mind the backest bowl somewhere back near the tee, knowing that Aaron Wilson may elect to play some kind of arriving weight up the middle to shift the jack out. So he's done that. He's got the tee, backest. Aaron Wilson, most occasions so far when he's found himself down, has played big weight. Head doesn't quite shape up for that, and only a minimal correction required for him to get the shot here. What can he do?
His trademark gait as he walks down the green. He doesn't really like it. He wants it to keep running. He's urging it to continue. Almost had it, but it won't be enough. And Wales can make their move. Bob's coming up next Thursday. Looking forward to seeing you, Bob. He only wants to catch up with you, though, Baz.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Come on, Bob. That's hurtful.
See you then, mate.
So Jared Breen, his draw game has been brilliant so far. What are we going to see here?
Yeah, it's definitely backhand. Just sliding the last bowl of Aaron Wilson's. Take about a yard off of his previous delivery. And just send it out. Trust that line. Trust that arc.
Tell you what. Is he close?
If you're slightly underweight, it just rips away.
And
Great leading, Daniel Salmon.
So that will be, I believe, a couple to Wales. Didn't quite see the signal.
2 it is.
2. It's a 4-2 lead to the Welsh. As we are already on the fifth end, Baz.
Yeah.
It's been a really quick
game.
match. And we know Disco and Teasy are pretty quick on the mat. And it looks as though Dan and Jared are the same.
Yeah, especially with the respot in play. No dead ends. Games move along quickly. And not much mucking around when it comes to the players' time on the mat. So Daniel Salmon's really arcing really nicely on this wide side. He's, as you see there, right down the centre. Aaron T's played so well in this direction on this forehand. Pretty good line. Just slightly overdone with the weight, but that's not a bad home. Get somewhere back near the tee with the first. Never wasted.
I think I'm going to have to pay Susan Tees the 50 here because she just continues to sing our praises, Baz. Thank you for the support, Susan. Great to have your company and everyone who's watching around the world, because we've got a few people from Wales that have stayed up really late to watch this. And Dan Salmon, well, you're watching an exhibition of leading, and Jared Breen, the way that he's finishing, Baz, the touch that they both have at the moment, they're sending an ominous sign to the Australians, and the Jackaroos have got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they've been forcing Australia into playing weight through their effective draw bowls. That's what you want to be doing, really, from a front-end perspective, is forcing the back end of Aaron Wilson under pressure. But that's Aaron Wilson's strength, or one of his strengths anyway, playing those big weighted shots. So Daniel Salmon shifting over to the forehand. Wants to get another one close. He's played it pretty well.
Not far. It's unbelievable what these bowls are doing at the moment, Baz.
Yeah, it's only day two and you're seeing sharp turn like that. It's coming off a very, very dry winter, hardly any rain at all for months.
We saw that at the Australian Open, didn't we? That it was just perfect throughout the entirety of that fortnight.
That's a nice changeover from Aaron Tees.
Is it enough? Is it enough? Yes, it falls in, and Aaron Tees gets the shot, wins the lead battle. Both have some bowls back. Teesy's Jack High bowl holding sway at the moment, but Jared Breen wants to have something to say about that.
Yeah, it's that stage in the day now where you start thinking, you got to keep bringing all the other things that help win a game of bowls, and that's the levels, the encouragement, trying to keep cheering on your teammate, your partner. You're about to spend another week together. Finals this weekend.
Jared Breen.
So, of course, the pairs and triples discipline in the men's being played this week. Women's singles and fours. And then the turnaround next week. Men will go into fours and singles. And the women into pairs and triples.
They sure will. Jared Breen wrestled shot back. Disco wants this one to get down. It won't, but watch this turn. So let's see what Jared Breen does here. What do you think his next option is here, Baz?
He's
Gone with the backhand.
He's got to be confident. The last thing he wants to do is try and dead draw it and finish between Australia's nearest bowl and the jack. You've got to be confident, just try and promote his front one or tuck the jack around the corner. Doesn't want to slice the jack now. Well,
he's gone through the gap.
That's okay. You'd rather that.
Well, because if there is a trail, then those two bowls at about 7 o'clock, they come into play.
Yeah, you'd rather see him be aggressive on the draw here, Jared, than draw it flat and set it up. So Aaron Wilson needs to be careful.
Line. What's he got? He's going to dip underneath here, Aaron Wilson. And he's covered things up a bit now.
Well, Jared Breen has 2 seconds. He can look for that nearest bowl of Australia now, or potentially still try and work towards it. Try and get back for the jack here. He's well pointed.
Jared Breen, this does look good.
How's the weight going? Is he reaching? Oh, he's lost one of his main ingredients.
Now, is there an opportunity here, Baz? Very risky. But if Disco plays weight, hits that bowl at 1 o'clock, knocks it into the bowl at 11 o'clock, they go. Australia take a couple.
Yeah, both red bowls go. You score 3, and you've got the respot. So let's see what happens. He might go for this.
He has.
Both
Aaron
bowls.
Wilson. He's not far. And he's got it, Aaron Wilson. That is absolutely huge. Is that a 4?
Definitely 3 at least. So both bowls split. Just needed to get him clean. No jack action, and he's made 3 of it.
Wow.
I got a feeling they might have been 1 down. I don't reckon Aaron would have played if they held 1. So
They were definitely down then.
yeah, because that wing bowl of Australia was hard to judge. So as you see here, the wing bowl of Australia, they just needed both red bowls. Front one first, split no jack, bang. Potentially 1 down to 3 up. So Aaron Wilson, I've got him down for 4 out of 6 runners. He's definitely on target today.
He is. And it was Malcolm D'Souza in the last match that seemed to be on target. Disco didn't have to play too many weighted shots, but we know this is one of the best facets of his game, his ability to go big and be so accurate. It's like a sniper.
Yeah, long at length. This one is about 32, 33 metres, so one of the longer ones for the match. Matt right back. Daniel Salmon trying to throw it out there, let the bowl do all the work. He's done pretty well, only probably a yard short, but on a really good angle.
Cody Packer joining in, another right at home Jackaroo shot, bruv, as Disco is affectionately known. He's got a few nicknames. Good to have your company, Cody.
His school nickname was actually Baz.
Really?
Yes.
Well, there can't be 2 Bazes
No,
in the Jackaroos.
correct. I still call him Baz, though, having known Aaron since he was a teenager, but it's once he turned 18, well, it was pretty simple to determine what would his next nickname be, and that is Disco. Doesn't venture out to the disco as often as he used to, but Aaron, few nicknames, and he's not the only one. A few of the players, as you get to know them over the years, develop different nicknames for different reasons, and there's quite a few funny ones out there, actually.
Certainly. Karen Murphy calls him Bruvy.
And you have to look at the rest of the Jackaroo squad, even the women. Ellen Flash Ryan.
Or Elwa. Lindsay's just Linny.
Yeah, Snoozy. We'd always call Lindsay Snoozy.
Oh, she does love... No, she still loves her sleep. Not a morning person is Lindsay Clark.
So Daniel Salmon needs to turn sharp here. Get back and fall in time. Not quite. So Aaron Tees, I think he's won that battle.
Yep. He's working his way into it, is Teasy. A bit frustrated with himself, but...
Yeah, minimal. So what Aaron's just saying there, Aaron Tees, just absolute minimal correction required to get the absolute outcome. What he was saying, only have to give it maybe another foot and on the jack, and that's how touchy the conditions are at the moment.
Yep. It's all about feel. So different to what we saw in Birmingham, where it was about weight and being up. Disco gets that around the back. Not a bad effort at all.
Yeah, nice opener, just a yard behind the jack. Good line.
And he's in a good home at least.
Yeah, definitely the tempo and timing plays a big part in the quicker surfaces and windy conditions. And just trust. You've got to trust what you feel and see. Our former Australian coach, Steve Glasson, one of his famous sayings, something I always took on board playing under Steve Glasson, was trust what you see. And these conditions, no doubt, exactly that. It's what you feel and see, you've got to just trust it and back yourself to play to the conditions. Jared Breen, he's gone quite wide with this one. He's working back nicely. He's just lacking a yard. That line would have actually got him shot. Aaron Wilson looking to double up. Something similar to his first. Take it a little bit off. Just needs a clear run now. Jared Breen's bowl is on the running surface. Well, that might be stiff, actually.
Yep.
They do have one now, Wales. And Aaron Wilson, he is human. He's trying hard there, just trying to replicate his first delivery, give it a chance, just connecting on Jared Breen.
So, Baz, a question from Pierino Pitacho. What is green speed? Would you care to elaborate? I'd rather hear you explain it than me.
Yeah, green speed. So it's the time from the bowl leaves your hand to the time it stops. So when it leaves your hand, the clock starts, and when the bowl comes to rest, the clock stops. And if that time is a high number, let's say anything above 15, the green would be considered as a quick green or a fast green. Anything probably between 10 seconds and 15 seconds, it'd be on the more slower side. So Aaron Wilson
trails the jack and makes it 2.
Fast green, very well known in New Zealand, would be 19, 20 seconds, and a slow green, more sort of Northern Hemisphere, Asia conditions, would be around that 9 to 10 seconds. So Jared Breen, big weight required here, looking for both bowls himself or trailing the jack. He's going with the timing option.
Jared Breen
Needs to hang on.
Is it going to dip under? Yes,
very,
it is.
very tough
But
shot.
will he be able to make it a second or make it 4-second? He won't. Brilliantly done by Aaron Wilson, and Australia make a small little move here. They lead the match 7-4 after 6 here at Club Helensvale. What a day it's been. And let's have a look at the replay at how Disco's bowl came through, trusted his grass, and hit the jack belly.
Yeah, I thought Jared Breen might rip that shot bowl out there. They got the tee and plenty around it. He decided to play a over the draw shot, and Australia's picked up a couple. But
Well, have I gone the early crow here? Was that just one?
I'm pretty sure it was 2.
Yeah, I thought so. I did measure for it, but
Yeah, I just thought Jared Breen, having a pretty good setup there and knowing the conditions out there, it's very hard to play the little arriving shots. Thought he might have went firm at it.
and this green at the moment, sorry Baz, this is running at about, 16?
Yeah, just over 16. I had about 16 and a quarter at the start. The Welsh wizard himself, who we heard from earlier, David Axon, I know what he would have been doing in that situation. He would have been ripping into that. Especially having the tee. If you've got the tee, it gives you that confidence of playing weight. Aaron T's out on a high line. He's going to get back. Yeah, I think so. So ditch to ditch we are facing here. 36 metres. Heading in the north direction. Beautiful clubhouse there in the background. Club Helensvale. I've been coming here for 20 years. The club's just gone from strength to strength. Great facilities.
Yep.
None better than the huge big TV LED screen they're building next door under their dome.
Baz, in the year I've been coming here, it's gone from strength to strength. A year ago, that roof was not up. That was still a second green, and that has gone up mightily quick.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, what a structure it's going to be. Great to see another covered green on the Gold Coast. Definitely helps with the Australian Open in terms of any bad weather, inclement weather. Having a couple of indoor roofs in terms of Helensvale and Paradise Point. As Aaron T switches hands, doesn't quite get the finish he was after. Daniel Salmon trying to just correct his line here with good weight on his first. He's done it pretty well as we see this turning in from a really high line. Look at this come home. That's pure skill.
Yep.
Aaron T's got a good guide now. His bowl's probably the perfect guide. Needs to just be coming just inside that. Work up into the jack or try and get some connection on the shot bowl. He's played it pretty well to there, Aaron T's. Even if he can get something behind, he's done well. Or the shot, well, not quite. Great shot, Aaron T's. That's a really good correction from going backhand, forehand to backhand, and then almost drawing it. Daniel Salmon, can he double up from his second delivery, get another one in there? Okay. Aaron Wilson. Going to be probably backhand for me, although there is a bowl catching on the forehand. Yeah, okay, forehand it is. No, late change, backhand. So I think it's just a dead draw here. Needs some jack connection now. Aaron Wilson.
What's he got? He sandwiched it. Has it done
he's one down?
Sandwiched in between his. So yeah, the question's coming about the green. So because someone asking if it takes longer to get there, how can it be quicker? It's because you have to take more grass and have to bowl wider.
Yeah, well, it comes down to the pressure of the surface, really. Something's slow, usually it's soft, okay? So the green, if the green's soft and the grass is longer and more lush, it's a soft, slow surface, and which means that will be a slow pace for the bowling green. And if it's hard and fast, that means it's a high seconds, so 20 or 21 seconds. So we don't see too many fast greens around that 20, 21 seconds, but we have been known and told of some greens in New Zealand getting up around 22, 23 seconds.
I've heard that. Have you ever played on a green that's that quick?
Probably 20 seconds. Club Papanui in New Zealand, played there a few times. I just saw some old footage recently on a DVD at home, and yeah, wow, the bowls just run on forever. And that's because they are hard and fast surfaces.
You have to bowl that at right angles.
Yeah, well and truly right outside the peg, as we're seeing here on this particular side of the rink in this direction. Aaron Wilson just going to miss under.
So 2 more for Jared Breen. The Aussies have just tightened the screws a little bit, Baz, haven't they?
Yeah, Aaron Tees, his last bowl was a beauty in behind the jack. Aaron Wilson trailed the jack to it, but it just didn't stick. But the way the head's set up, it always comes back to numbers, which creates opportunities. That critical mass, so as you see there, Australia might be down 1, but Australia have Wales outnumbered in the scoring zone. So they have 2 to Wales' 1. Wales need to change the ratio.
Yep, because if he doesn't, could Disco be just going for that bowl?
Yeah, because those 2 blue bowls are pretty protected when it comes to the forehand. So Disco's more than happy to come down on his forehand and just look to sit that red bowl with pretty much any weight he likes. And I think Jared's best consolation, if he's not changing it, it's just a slide in past behind the head.
So let's see what Jared Breen can do right here at Club Helensvale on Australia's Gold Coast.
He's trying to outnumber him by sitting a bowl out. So that was an interesting play. I don't suggest against it, but that was just a play where he was trying to sit there.
Yeah.
Third nearest bowl. So it's something the great Matthew Lucas
he agrees, doesn't he?
would play, I would have thought, on these surfaces.
So Disco. What's he got here? I don't think he's too happy. He liked it for a second and then he's walking away. Not sure it's going to get down, and it won't. So opportunity for Jared Breen. Is he going to sit and stay? Has he corrected the line?
He's going to be high. He's got his hands out. So you can see the angle of that coming in versus the other side. Just slightly narrow it.
So that is 1 to the Australians. And they lead at 8-4. They've won 3 ends in a row. Things starting to go the way of the Aussies. Looking pretty handy at the moment. Continuing with this trend of longer lengths.
Aaron Tees on the forehand now, so his first look at his opening bowls, forehand this direction. Might be something that just tightens things up for him. You never know. Good stage of the match. He's searched around, playing some really decent bowls on that wide side, and probably hasn't quite nailed it to as good as he would like. And the beauty of that bowl is right down the middle, only 4 foot through, so take a lot of confidence out of nailing his line. Just make that small adjustment with his weight. Daniel Salmon, he's been playing this side of the rink very well.
He really has, hasn't he?
He's done well again here.
Plenty of things to do on the Gold Coast. It's the place to be in winter in Australia because, as you know very well, Baz, living up here, the climate is sensational. Plenty of restaurants and shopping, especially at Pack Fair. What do you like to get up to after you finish a long day's work? Walk the dog?
P3 Recovery, mate.
Yep.
Fantastic place there in Burleigh Heads. Got the magnesium pools, infrared saunas.
Infrared sauna?
So, yeah, it's fantastic.
Sounds all right.
Yeah, Recovery's the Jackaroos tonight. When they get home, they'll be jumping in the pools, doing their recoveries. And, yeah, I like that, especially during Australian Open. You're playing, if you're getting deep in a few events, as we see Daniel Salmon double up here.
That is brilliant from Dan Salmon, and he follows it as well. Resting touch-up.
No daylight between bowl and jack. Very rare in these conditions to see that. That's a high-quality bowl.
Perfect it is.
Yeah, so the Australian Jackaroos working closely with the Australian Institute of Sport. Focus heavily on recovery. So the body's in tip-top shape for the next day, and that comes in a few different ways. Jumping in the pool or putting on the boots.
Yep.
As recovery boots are fantastic.
Everything helps.
Circulation.
Yep, everything helps. And Baz, just normally, what would you like to get up to? Just walk OVO along the beach and just chill, go out for some nice dinner. There's plenty of options here on the Gold Coast, as Dan Salmon puts in another one.
Yeah, there's a place down in Palm Beach called The Collective. It's 5 restaurants under one roof, 5 different kitchens, one big menu with all 5 menus in it.
Wow.
And, yeah, you can go there and you can pick out what you want. And it's fantastic. That's probably my favourite place, The Collective.
Nice.
Palm Beach Surf Club, overlooking the water.
Sounds good.
Or just a ride the bike along Tullybudgera Creek.
Nice. Sounds good. There's plenty to do. We went out to Mario's last night for dinner in Broadbeach. It's also O'Bagel right near the Broadbeach Bowls Club as disco goes big. Jack Ditch, Australia. Are they holding 3 or has Dan Salmon's gone into the ditch? What did Teasy say there?
Well, Aaron Tees has gone from 3 down to 3 up, and he didn't make the change. He just laughed at Aaron Wilson then and said, "Thanks, mate. Thanks for bringing me into the game." So
brilliant.
Aaron Tees having a bit of a chuckle there, but he's got 3 good bowls there together. Just weren't scoring, but they were good, effective bowls in the area, and now they're scoring. So the beauty of that shot from Aaron Wilson was the fact that he got it first go. So it gives him 2 cracks at trying to draw this now. So nice shot, Jared Breen. Good open up.
So that will do. It's pretty much just a little bit of a shootout here between the skips as to who can go closer. And Jared Breen will have the last say. Disco will want this one to get down because it is out of bounds at the moment. Teasy's telling it to get in. Has Disco drawn around it?
It's close.
He wants it to run.
Not quite.
It won't get there. It stays out of bounds.
Oh, and turtled on him. Flopped on its back.
So Jared Breen gets an opportunity to put a second in.
So the key to this shot now is not playing to the jack line. It's just trying to play to stay inside. So Jared Breen doesn't need to finish in line with his previous delivery here, just needs to score.
This one's motoring along.
And he's on a high line.
Yeah.
Not sure what he's doing out there. The wind is up. But
Oh, having said that, he might have just come back in. Does it flop? No. He's going to inspect it.
yeah, it's out by
Disco reckons it's out.
3 or 4 inches.
And Jared Breen confirms it. It was not far. Very close.
Yeah, fair effort.
Yeah.
So,
Is Disco going to kill it?
well, that would be nice if he does kill it, but he. So Teasy's just saying he doesn't want to get it up the green for 2 down, but bowl or jack here, forehand.
Aaron Wilson.
He's close.
He's very close. Aaron Wilson. Oh, my word. That was a whisker.
Huge effort. So Jared Breen, he's got quite a lot of room now. He can pretty much draw to the tee of the green. That'll get him in a count.
Well, this is huge from Jared Breen. Let's have a look at the replay here. How close Disco was.
Just looking for some arc up against that breeze. Just wasn't moving back for him, but yeah, shadowed the bowl.
Jared Breen just needs to put it where his last bowl was.
He needs to.
He's on a better line.
He's going to get connection on his
Yep.
own here. Just sliding
Just,
past.
and that's enough to stop it. Brilliantly done from the Welshman, and that is 2. So 8-4 down, it's 8-6. They end the run of 3 straight ends to the Australians. Brilliantly done from Jared Breen. It's never easy to draw to a new line, and he did it well. So they're back in it here as we near the halfway point of this contest. Australia leading at 8-6. Disco was so close.
And that's the thing with Aaron Wilson. That's why he's such a great competitor and a high achiever. When he misses, he only just misses. And that's the key to the game. And when you put the time and effort in and all the training, Aaron Wilson's technique has changed a lot over the years. He's modified certain things to increase his effective rate.
Yep. Well, Baz, over the last year, it's taken something extremely special to defeat Aaron Sheriff in any sort of format or discipline. And Disco beat him at the Australian Open, inflicted his only loss of the tournament in that men's pairs final. It was due to his brilliance in the final end. You actually called that match. And how impressive was he?
Yeah, all players were super impressive, and I like the saying, it's not always how many you play, so you could scratch around for periods in a game.
It's when you play him.
It's when you play them, that's right, and the key to Aaron's last 3 deliveries in the Australian Open Pairs final is that they were all played with the correct weight. They weren't played with too much weight to be wasted, and that's the contingency I always speak about when playing weight. You've got to keep thinking about how much value your bowl has if you don't hit your intended target. And the Aaron Wilsons and Sheriffs of the world, Alex Marshalls, Kelsey Cottrells and these kind of players, when they do play weight, they're always thinking about, well, what if I don't get what I get for going for? What reward has my bowl got post the miss? And, that particular game, weight control was phenomenal. They've had some really good singles battles now over the years. 2 years ago, Aaron Wilson won the 3 years ago, won the Australian Open singles, beating Aaron Sheriff in the semi-final. And since then, they've been having a couple of little tussles and golden nuggets and so on. So there's a good little rivalry there, but all these players at this level have got their own little rivalries. And they're very hard to beat on any given day.
Yeah, it takes a lot to beat Aaron Sheriff, and Disco is a man that has the capabilities, and it's the same with Aaron Tees. And Aaron Sheriff took on Daniel Salmon at the World Bowls Indoor Championships this year.
One thing I
Got
love,
him.
Val, about some of those players too is if they do get a loss, they take it in their stride. And especially for junior bowlers or new bowlers, you know, if you get a loss in a tournament where it's either sectional or it's there's a pool, or you know you might be in an event where you can afford to lose a game, how you respond. And Aaron Sheriff 2 years ago at the Golden Nugget was beaten early first game comprehensively by, I'm pretty sure it was Jeremy Henry. I think it was to maybe 8 or 10, and turned around and won the Golden Nugget. And Aaron Sheriff, he is one of the best I've ever seen and played with, who can put a bad bowl, a bad end, or a bad game behind him and move forward.
Yep.
And that's what I'm super proud of when it comes to some of my teammates and some of my Australian Jackaroos mates, how they respond. So Aaron Wilson here with weight, looking for the jack or bowl.
He's close again. He's close again. He's got the jack belly. Has it sprung back on? No, it stayed in the ditch.
A lot of jack movement happening.
Yep.
Aaron Wilson, he's been forced to play a lot of weighted shots, but he's up for the task. He's Aaron Wilson.
So it's still a couple to Wales, I believe.
And just speaking of that, Val, you only have to see that with the Australian men's triples yesterday. Bounced back straight away with a big victory, and they're travelling really nicely. And it comes back to a lot of mindset. Got to learn from your losses, learn from your bad bowls, learn from your bad games.
Who do you reckon's holding here, Barry? Do you think it's still a couple to Wales?
I did see Teasy put his hand up, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the winner for this end hasn't been played yet.
Of course.
So Jared Breen, it's a slippery slope down there. Look at this bowl. It's probably picking up speed with the wind behind it. It's a tough shot. So just going in.
Goes in. Teasy just checking to see the distance is. But you think Jared or Aaron would be able to put something in to wrestle a shot or prove who is the shot?
Yeah, so what happens here? So, yes, they are playing in a north-south direction, but what they've got is a breeze. Once the bowl gets to about halfway down the green, they've got a breeze that's getting behind the bowl, and that's a very, very tough bowl to play. You're trying to play to a distance where you can't afford to be heavy, and you're trying to read what the wind's doing behind the bowl. And as we see so far, 2 bowls go into the ditch, trying to draw to the ditch. It's a very difficult shot. It's like playing downhill. So Jared Breen, you'll see a few people change, maybe try and get a little bit lower, slow down their tempo, maybe reduce their backswing just to create the correction. Jared Breen's seemed to have done a pretty good job of that.
I reckon that will do for one. So let's see how we go.
You can clearly see then Aaron Wilson's tempo with that delivery much slower, just trying to make a minor correction.
So what has he got? He watches. Is it going to get there? Probably not. Goes into the ditch. So
Good effort.
that'll be 1 to Wales. And you were right, Barry. The winner of the end hadn't been played yet, and it was Jared Breen who got it. But jack movement aplenty. And at the halfway point of the match, the Welsh lead trail 7-8. Australia holding sway by the most minimal of margins.
Yeah, it's had a bit of everything this game so far. We've seen really good drawing, conversion play, drawing to the ditch, drive and draw. So that's what you expect from 4 of these superstars out on the green. Daniel Salmon, forehand, left-hander. You see there, you can see where his shoulders are pointing. His shoulders are pointing at least a rink and a half over. He's trying to really open up his frame just to set up for that wide arcing draw. You can see that bowl's coming in right outside the peg and then swooping across sharply back to the centre of the rink. So probably something he'd experienced back home on some of those quicker indoors. Nice wide drawing arc. Aaron Tees on a good line. be probably just on a yard short there. Pretty good worker with his weight, with his line. Daniel Salmon.
Dan Salmon has the better of the lead battle at the moment, but Aaron Tees, we know the quality that he possesses. He will work his way back.
Yeah, that's right, Val. It only takes one, so small correction required here from Teesy. Aaron Tees still only so young. Both players only so young, so much ahead of him.
Teesy just needs a bit more weight on it. Same weight as before.
That'll do for second.
Yep. Yeah, green speed looks like it's running at about 16, 17.
Yeah, 16 and a quarter. Daniel Salmon needs to find a yard. So I mentioned it yesterday, Val. Let's see what time it is. Guess what time it is?
3:48.
A yard more at
4. You're a poet, Barry.
Yes. Yeah, you even hear the locals say it, a yard more at 4. So the temperature just starts to drop. The crowd start reaching for a vest or a jacket or a hood jumper.
Yeah, Lockie's just put his on next to us. Has Teesy found the correction?
It's a fair effort.
Oh, just no, but
So
great effort.
As the temperature drops, the leaf, the grass just slowly starts to rise and the green just loses its shine. And the bowlers, as we can see there, 4 out of the 6 deliveries falling that 1 yard short. So it's something to be mindful of. You can see that shadow creeping across, which is new for Club Helensvale. Historically, there wouldn't be a shadow coming across green 1 in the afternoon. But because of the new roof structure, the locals will be learning to combat that. As Jared Breen lines up, backhand. He's on a good line. Just needs to turn in now. He's played it very well. Just doesn't want to flop off Daniel Salmon and make it a bigger landing pad. Well, he has. Aaron Wilson, backhand as well. Can afford to be there now. He's got a fair few bowls to land on. But you can hear the ropes hitting the flagpoles. The wind absolutely smashed that bowl of Aaron Wilson's. Look at that bowl run away. So you can hear the ding, 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 ding on the flagpoles. Well, we can hear it anyway here. For those tuning in to watch, those flags are probably nearly the worst we've had all day. And look at this bowl. He's deliberately thrown this out, Jared Breen. And you can see Daniel Salmon's shirt and Teesy's shirt. Look at that turn. Wow.
And there was a wry smile there from Jared Breen. And
it's coming up the green, that bowl.
Yeah. Let's see where Aaron Wilson has put his. Now, he's given it a little bit more weight, and he's tossed it out wider. He wants it to stay. Teesy wants it to hold, but again, it's going to turn. Just depends on by how much he's gone through the gap.
My goodness. Look at that runaway.
What an effort, though.
So as you can see, the players' shirts, you can see the flags at the top of the screen there. The elements just win sometimes. You can't beat them. All you can do is persist. Keep trying to read them to the best of your ability and trust it. Trust what you see.
Peter Thornton asking you to do a sound effect of the noise.
No worries. Good to see you, Pete. It was a ding, ding, ding.
Yep. Well, this is a ding, ding, ding affair.
A ding-dong match.
Yep.
There is a little bit of danger out the back corner here for Wales. The 2 blues that are slightly together as we see Jared Breen. I've played in Wales before, and they don't experience the wind like Australia does. It's definitely something that they have to combat. Players coming over to Australia, and this is nothing like some of the wind we can produce. He's going to manage to get the tee here, so I think Aaron Wilson, something similar. Look to land the shot bowl, trail the jack.
Blake Nan, this Salmon guy looks like a little version of me.
Yeah, but he plays with the correct hand.
this needs to get back for Disco. And it won't, so ominous signs for the Australians. And I think that is 2 to Wales, which puts them in front. And it was the middle portion of the last match as well that tripped the Aussies up. They went down after 8 ends and only lost 1 more for the rest of the match. They're down after 10 here. 3 ends in a row in favour of Wales, having been down 8-4. It's now 9-8 in favour of Salmon and Breen, who are lifting.
Aaron Tees. He's got his work cut out with Daniel Salmon. Very versatile player. Left-hander. Both players absolute superstars. It's going to come down to this game, no doubt, across the next 8 ends on who decides to play the big ones when it matters. Aaron Tees flew out of the box, drawing touches. Now both players just trying to get within a couple of feet and play to the conditions. Would be good to try and nail the jack, but just work around that yard marker and see what happens from there.
Jesse Nerona watching on as well. Another right at home Jackaroo. Great to have your company. So, Dan Salmon really taking a stranglehold on this front end battle.
He absolutely framed that head as good as you can get. Aaron Tees backhand.
As you said, frame. Aaron Tees has gone for it. He's drifting underneath and he just misses. So
it's either trail the jack out of their val and unframe it, or just get to the tee and then make Aaron Tees probably drop his weight and play some form of minimal weighted shot.
So look at the line that they're both taking. You can see it on your picture there that Dan Salmon had to go onto the next rink in conjunction with the bowl that's already going down to the next rink over to get that weight. And that's a great bowl to hit to get near the tee there. Aaron Tees going again. And he's gone under yet again. So almost got the back one, but went straight past. So again, Dan Salmon, he's really asserting his authority on this one. 2-time Commonwealth champion.
Yeah, so the width of the rink around about 5 metres wide at World Bowls level. And so when you see a bowl going well outside the peg to get back to the middle, that's 2.5 metres, over 2.5 metres of width on the draw. And when you look at the conditions we experienced last year in Birmingham, even though we're using the wider drawing bowls, we're still only looking at about 1.5 metres of draw line. So you've got your work cut out finding the line, trying to point it out into the right direction so it comes back to the centre, as well as the touch and feel with your weight. Aaron Wilson.
Time for Disco to really ramp things up. What does he do here, Baz?
Oh, bigger the better for me.
Yep.
He needs to open it right up, even take a few bowls out. Loves the forehand run.
Bang.
Yeah, he's
It's
close.
big.
He's close.
He's always close. Jack spills out, and we go
Job done.
to the tee, which Dan Salmon has already covered. Brilliantly done, but I dare say, as you like to call it, Baz, the winning bowl hasn't been played yet.
No, and as much as Daniel Salmon did play a good third bowl, there's a difference between nailing the tee and putting one near the tee. And so for me, I know Daniel would have loved to have put one right on the tee because there was a high probability that Aaron was going to kill the end. So now Aaron's definitely well in the hunt to draw this. Even though he's 2 down, Aaron's got about 2 feet of room. So out he goes. Draw drive, one of the best players in the world at this skill. Drive, then back to a draw. Well, he's turned his back early on that one. Same thing, just with the way that wind's gusting. Hands getting wider and wider.
Yeah, look at that.
Well,
It
Jared
just
Breen's,
shows how good Dan Salmon's bowl was to get there.
yeah, yeah. When you've got a free shot at it, the idea is to nail the actual tee, because you're not going to probably get a better opportunity to nail the tee. And I know the conditions are tough, but in retrospect, you would love Daniel to be able to jump right on it and then take that away from the opposition, especially the way when the jack's positioned, you can cover the jack. But it definitely, Val, the fact that he's put one within 2 feet, and you see Jared Breen now add to the count. So
this is 3 now for Wales. Disco needs to put one in and trim this count. They're down by 1. If you can't draw the shot, he's got to be close.
Teasy's having a good look at this.
Disco's having a good look at it as well.
Needs a clear road.
Aaron Wilson.
He was all over it.
He crashes in. Has he trimmed the count? I think to 2. But I reckon Wales have still got the multiple here. And this is becoming worrying for the Australians. Wales lead it 11-8, having been down 8-4.
It's a part of the game also that you train, Val, drawing to the tee. It's something probably many players that don't have to play in competitions with the respot would actually go out and practice, but it is a weird training drill, trying to draw to a tee when there's nothing on it. Something that I've had to train, especially in the BPL competition, when you play to a short jack and then you have a tee that has nothing on it, trying to draw to a target that is non-existent pretty much is an interesting little exercise. So if you're playing competitions where there is a respot involved, you must train getting to the respot. And if you can nail it, get right on top of that tee, you're in good shape. So lovely shot from Aaron Tees.
That's a confidence booster for Teesy. Now, they're down by 3. Need to get a bit of the wriggle on here, the Aussies. There is 7 ends to go, including this one. So plenty of time, of course.
Daniel Salmon.
He is... And Jared Breen was clapping that in with 2 metres to go. He knew...
Teasy just trying to go with him here. Just working to the head. 4 great shots. That's great leading.
Aaron Tees. It's very nice.
So not much of a target forming for either skipper at this stage. Nice tight head, both leads. Flags have just started to quieten off. I don't want to put the moz on them, but that's about the easiest we've seen the flags blowing for the last hour or 2.
Dan Salmon puts in a back bowl. So this has been a really enthralling battle so far. We have no idea who's going to salute, but it's Wales at the moment that have the upper hand. They've got all the momentum and are handling the conditions with gusto. Aaron Tees.
3 great shots from Teesy. Building a really good head for his skip.
Have a look at that head. Those 5 bowls all touching each other. Jared Breen makes his way to the mat.
Yeah, I think it's going to be backhand. Just try and get to the jack, make a 2 of it. If not, get to that blue bowl of Aaron Tees. As we see there, Jared Breen, you watch, nice bend in the knees there. Gets down nice and low. Drops his head at the point of release.
Now, will this one get to the head as well? Jared Breen, it's coming. It is
Great shooting.
turning a mile and also ends up, look at that.
If you've just tuned in, yes, there is a jack in there somewhere.
It's right at the front. What's Aaron Wilson got?
He's had a good look there. Nice side up. So JB, backhand. Something similar. Work under the last bowl of Aaron Wilson's.
Jared Breen.
Just underdoing it with the weight. Hit the line.
There's a reason why these two are the Commonwealth champions, and it's because they are adaptable. They overcome the challenges. They were thrown the kitchen sink early. Australia leading 8-4, and they have stormed through with the last 7 shots. Aaron Wilson goes in the head as well again. This is brutal, this head.
Jared Breen, I love that reset. Puts the bowl down well and truly back behind the mat. Gets set, nowhere near the mat, and then goes on the approach. Okay, outside of the mat. So he's trying to find some extra turn here, either around or just under Aaron Wilson's wing bolt. Don't think he's going to... Yes, he is. He's going to make it, but not quite where he wanted to finish.
So where does Disco go here? Just dead draw?
Yeah, I think so, but what he doesn't want to do is just finish slightly short like his last attempt. So
that's where the jack is, and we're going to watch Disco's bowl come into picture.
Yeah, just a little trail, a foot. Can't hurt. He's pretty close here.
Not far at all.
Just staying out on him. He liked it.
Oh, not far off at all, but that'll be one to the Welsh. And they continue to push. It was a much-needed end for Australia, and they didn't get it. So 12-8, and the momentum has well and truly shifted. This has been a superb performance from Salmon and Breen, and they are making a statement to the rest of the competition. Can the Aussies respond? That's the big question.
Yeah, long way to go. There's definitely multiples, chance for some multiples down the track here, but the key is just to get the mat back, get the length back, stay strong, both with your game but your mindset. This is where you want to keep fueled, keep the fluids up, maybe snack on something. Keep the energy levels up, not only just with your own player performance, but how you react to the team, your teammates, how you can support one another. You've got to keep the energy up, keep pushing and pushing and pushing right through to the death. Every shot's so vital with these pool games.
It's easy, bit short. So 4 down for the Australians. The equation is they just need to win an end.
Daniel Salmon. So as you can see there, the wind just gets in behind the bowl.
Yeah, and this is why he's playing singles for
Nice sharp turn.
Wales next week. His draw game is superb. Either of these two could be playing singles for Wales.
It's a good angle for Teasy. Coming in from the right place. Just going to be a bit quick. Only a couple of feet over, but he's got back to the desired line. Daniel Salmon, he needs to make a fair correction here. 6 feet off. He's just going through as well. So that's pretty good. All 3 bowls past Jack at least.
Gives Jared Breen something to work with when he strides to the mat. So Aaron Tees to try and take a stranglehold on things here. What can he do? He's gone on the forehand.
Yeah, 2 feet off. Just overdone it. Is it enough? Not sure.
No. So it's up to the skips again. This is end 13 of 18, a 2:15 time limit. We're not going to hit that. Definitely won't need it. This match started at 2:45. An hour and 22 minutes in.
Great number, that.
I think I know why.
So Jared Breen, fair bit of room really, the way he's been playing. So majority of the bowls for this match have been played on this wide side. Seems to be the kind of hand, players picking it a bit easier. Jared Breen.
Jared Breen. Yep.
A little bit of chalk, makes 2 out of it. And what he's also done is he's not set up a jack-high target, so it's going to leave Aaron Wilson to draw this.
So impressive that, these are foreign conditions to Salmon and Breen, and I think Dan Salmon has played in Australia before on many occasions. But, the way that they've adapted, these are the home conditions of Tees and Wilson.
Yeah, Daniel, of course, playing singles for Wales in 2018 and winning the pairs with his mate Sparky. What a great final that was against Alex Marshall and Paul Foster.
It's a pretty handy team to beat.
Yeah, 2018 men's pairs gold medal. Back-to-back for Daniel Salmon. So it's just a matter of now backing yourself here and the communication being spot on. So it seems to be a forehand draw, nothing really lining up for weight. Aaron out on a good track. He's trying hard here.
Trying very hard. This is not far away.
Can he get down?
Needs it to avoid the front. It does, and wobbles in for shot, I believe.
It's close.
Very close. One more each to play. It doesn't matter how they get them at the moment. The Australians just need the shot and to control the length. Because from 8-4 up, they've surrendered the last 8 shots.
The way Daniel Salmon's calling this, I think Wales has won.
Yep.
So it's just a high draw here. Working off the bowl at 8 o'clock. Beat that's a good start. If you beat it well, you should count. See that great setup, nice and low.
Winner of this.
He's close here. Jared Breen. He's getting back beautifully. He could draw one here. Oh, what an effort.
Baz, you called it in. It's fallen in too. That is the boss, I think.
Yep, thumbs up from Daniel Salmon. Aaron Wilson. He's got maybe second shot. I think it's a draw as well. Well, if Jared Breen can get there and they're using the same equipment, nothing stopping from this great man. Aaron Wilson. Turn his own one up. Or perhaps get to Wales and flop in.
He can't.
Big attempt.
So the question now is this 2 for Wales? And if it is, the alarm bells would be ringing. The tape is coming out. Disco points with his 2 fingers. And he reckons it's 2. So this could be 14-8 to the Welsh. And it is. This has been some sort of a turnaround from Salmon and Breen. 5 ends in a row now, 3 of which have been multiples. Sorry, 6 ends in a row, 4 of which have been multiples. How's my maths going? 8-4 down. They've reeled off 10 shots in a row. And they lead at 14-8. Australia in desperate need of a rescue.
Yeah, Jack Lang, 30 metres. As we see the Jack just a couple of metres short of the tee there. Daniel Salmon, like he has done all game so far, playing forehand in the south direction, back to the clubhouse. And he's never been very far away. Anything inside, probably a yard. He's going to be very competitive in these particular conditions. As I say that, the flag's in the northwest corner, hardly moving, so hopefully that's a sign of things to come. The flags over in the east side are still moving around quite strongly.
Aaron Tees, that is, well, that's exactly what he needed. Unfortunately for him, he flopped out.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery of why it does that. The ball coming in such a sharp angle. Sometimes they just fall out. Might have been just because the bowl rocks from the contact from the Jack. But when they do it without any contact, that's when you're a bit concerned. Can work both ways though. Sometimes you can flop out and end up counting, and sometimes flop in and
push the Jack away even more.
That's right. So it can work both ways.
And on a surface like this, it's kind of like if you touch the Jack, it's like it moves on glass.
As Aaron Tees doubles up, beautiful leading.
That's great from Aaron Tees, and it's a confidence booster that he needs. Because Dan Salmon's been the one that's had the better of this leading battle, Baz.
Yeah, Daniel's been really solid. Teesy, he won't go down without a fight. The thing about, and I spoke about earlier about players, if they're having a bad game, a bad end, a bad period, or they've actually lost a match, some of these players, especially these international superstars, they know how to respond. They know how to be resilient and stay determined, be the best teammate and player they can be. And Aaron Tees has done that here. 2 great shots, just missing a yard short with that one. But Jared Breen's got a bit of work to do here. This head doesn't really set up easy for a weighted shot or a draw shot.
No, Teesy's made it very difficult. So this is good for Disco because Teesy's given him a lot to work with, and a big multiple here for Australia could be just what the doctor ordered.
So Jared Breen, same as Daniel Salmon, predominantly played the east side of this rink. As you see, looking at the screen now, that right side.
Perhaps a little trail, Baz.
Yeah,
Dan Salmon likes it.
He's got to stay around the head. That's the key. If you can get another one in there, or you could just draw it.
Draw the shot cold.
Good attempt.
Jared Breen, has he got it? It's mightily close. Disco asks Teesy what the score is.
One shot to Australia.
Yep. So now is it about tucking the Jack behind?
Yeah, Aaron Wilson be after this Jack for sure here. Just
They like it.
Try and move it 18 inches.
And he's underneath, but that's gone out to a pretty good home, to be honest, if that Jack does move. So now, what's going to happen here? Are we going to see Waite get rid of these 2 bowls?
Just something similar. So because Jared played such a good bowl with his first attempt, doesn't really need to change much. Muscle memory will probably do the rest. Just try and play the same bowl. Maybe lean into it a little bit more with a bit of body weight, but he's fallen short here. Aaron Wilson, second chance at this.
Let's see what he can do.
He's definitely higher.
Teesy likes it. Has
Wants
he got
the
it?
Jack.
He has, but where's he pushed it?
No way.
That is stiff.
If he didn't get the slide, it was probably a better result for him. He would have been missing the Jack, I believe. If get any Jack, it would have been a quarter.
Ellen Ryan has won her singles match, her final match of the day as well. Very, very good day. So this is I'm not sure what the... I think this is one to Wales, do you believe? Bass, or are we favouring the Jack High Bowl?
I'm actually favouring Australia, Jack High Bowl,
Yep.
but Jarrabreen needs another one in there. Australia's got 4 out of the now I see that angle. Definitely got 3 of the 4 bowls in there, so Jarrabreen's got to get another one in there. He did put his foot near that wing bowl, suggesting that he might try and turn it up. Well, it's got to go a fair way, and to do that, if he misses, I don't think his bowl will stay around and affect the head, but try and play some weight looking for Australia's nearest bowl. He's not far away here.
Not far away at all. He's gone through. But that is staying on. So now where does Disco go here?
Oh, they've got to score.
Yep, they just have to. So dead draw.
Well, got to score, but not run the risk of having multiple scored against them. 1 down's not all bad. If Aaron somehow gets the jack back and doesn't stay anywhere near it, he could drop a 3.
Yep.
So Aaron Wilson, okay, it's easy. It's like, if you see it, I'm with you. There is a chance of getting that bowl, the Welsh bowl behind the jack, clean. He loves this forehand run up. Aaron Wilson looking for the bowl, no jack. So he's going the high line.
Aaron Wilson, this is a huge bowl in the context of this match.
He's elected to try and draw it.
It is turning. It is coming. Has it got the legs? It doesn't. So that is
1 to Australia.
1 to the Australians. So they do get on the board. I wasn't sure then. It was close, but we did favour that Jack High Bowl, and all of a sudden the run of 6 ends in a row, that's over. Australia finally break through and break the Welsh defence. 5 shots the difference, 4 ends to play. By no means is it over.
Aaron tees. Matt on the tee. Jack just short of it. See that line there? So that bowl's currently outside the rink. And now it's making its way back. It's almost going to get back to the centre.
That is a good lead bowl.
So there you have it.
Bit of movement there and down
7. I reckon I've got that at about 7 to 8 feet of draw line, which is huge.
It is, isn't it? That's a massive line that you have to take.
And now the bowl's turning back. It's turning with the leaf as the leaf moves to the sun, as it sets.
Dan Salmon, he is playing a blinder.
Yeah, it's high discipline bowling here. You've got to just keep throwing them out. If you're a bank bowler, find your marker, keep hitting it. If not, understand that you've got to keep throwing them out. Decent line there by Teasy, just a yard short. Daniel Salmon.
On the backhand as well.
So having played at Nelson Bay, down at the Marlins there, Daniel Salmon came over and had a bit of time in Australia 3 or 4 years back. Very familiar with the Australian conditions. Competed in the Australian Open. So using all that experience he's got in Australian conditions, the best of his ability. As Aaron Tees fires the last one away on the forehand. You can try and arrive here, Teesy. Little trail of the jack. And that is ripping away hard.
Yeah.
Wow, that's getting away.
I feel like Teasy's bowls have ripped away a lot more than some of the others.
It can just seem that way. I think it's just a timing thing. Sometimes, you can have a run of bowling a bowl down the green when the wind gets up, and sometimes it can be the other way. You send it out and the wind doesn't move at all, and you can just have little runs like that. Daniel Salmon, he's starting the bowl. He's getting the bowl away from a complete different angle to Aaron Tees being a left-hander, and that's perfect leading
Yep, and look at how that bowl has been rocked in right behind the jack. Dan Salmon, beautifully done. How can they respond from dropping an end now, the Welsh? That's the big question, because if Australia can get on a run, they can get their tails up.
Yeah,
Wales need to be careful.
Just patience is the key, Val. They just got to keep packing the head, wait for their time, try and create a multiple if it rises. Disco here, just try and play a couple of feet away. Trying to look to sit the shot bowl. If not, just try and get down to where Teasy is. It's on a beautiful line, just pulling up. Green speed now, probably a second less. Timed the last couple. Probably back around that 15-second mark now. Probably can't quite easily see it enough from the viewing, from the live stream, but we can see it here. You can see the bowls just sitting down a little bit more now in the grass as it becomes a little bit spongier and cooler. And that takes a bit of speed off the bowl.
Light starting to fade away here. This has been a magnificent display of bowls from Salmon and Breen. Can they finish it off? They are looking at the goods. They're holding sway in this end as well.
Yeah, just taking his time there. He's done that a few times, just trying to read the wind, as Jared. He's played this really well. Look at this come home. That's at the peg line now and ripping across the head and a little bounce.
Yep, bounce off a couple. That might, not sure.
I think it's 2.
They can't afford to cough up a multiple here, Australia. They can't really afford to cough up many shots at all, really. They need to get a move on.
Aaron Wilson.
He likes it.
Sit the shot bowl clean. Oh, he got half of it. What an effort.
He got it. I reckon.
Huge effort by
He's
Disco.
done enough. Maybe. Not sure.
Yeah, tricky shot there. Played it almost to perfection. Massive attempt by Aaron Wilson. Just to come down through the hole, sit the shot bowl and stay. Just got a half and wiggled out.
Might still be one to Wales.
Yeah, so a little 360-degree view here. As we see from this great camera angle, you can see both Welsh players are assessing the head from another angle. So the skip, if they were looking at the head, they'd obviously be looking at it from front on. And now, as you see, Jared stood there for about 30 seconds at the back of the head, assessing it from the back of the head. And that's great from a young skipper. You'll see in golf, some people might do a 360 walk around before putting, and I can't recommend it any higher for skips. Go down, have a look around, assess it from all the angles, look at all the what-ifs, all the jack movements, all the bowls movements, assess it all, and then come back to the mat. So backhand it is.
So as of the 14 ends we've played, Wales have won the end count 8-6, so it's fairly close. But Australia, of the 6 that they've won, 4 of those have been singles. And for Wales, of the 8 that they've won, 6 of them have been multiples. They've not scored more than a 2, but they've scored 6 twos. And that is a lot.
Yeah, in any format of the game, ideally, if you're not winning the end, you're not dropping multiples. And, you know, the 1s and 2s are usually fairly recoverable, but anything after that can be a bit dangerous. So Aaron Wilson needs a clear run here.
I think he might get it. He rocks in, rocks through. I don't think he's done enough.
Big attempt again, Aaron Wilson. So they're going to take the, was it the 1? They're going to take the 1. So
yep.
Jared Breen just worried about any jack movement for 1 or 2 down there.
So 15-9. Wales have 1 foot on top of this table. Something heroic needed from the green and gold. But Dan Salmon and Jared Breen, they've been brilliant. No other word for it. They look relaxed. They look like they're enjoying it.
Yeah, even the jack is, you can see the jack pulling up a bit quicker there. It's as it gets quite dark here now. Did this yesterday, just after 4:30, around the 4:30 mark. Jared Breen, Dan Salmon on the forehand. And look at this bowl. You can clearly see it's not running on as much as it was an hour ago. Just pulling up.
It's all about now how the Australians can readapt and how the Welsh can keep them at bay, because they've done a wonderful job to turn this around. They were down 8-4, 6 ends in a row. After that, as Aaron tees, has he done enough for shot? It's maybe, just maybe. Just had a look to see if the lights are on. Baz, nothing yet?
Nothing yet. It's borderline time.
Yep.
There's a few ends left.
They came on a lot earlier yesterday at Broadbeach, didn't they?
Yeah, and the thing I'm conscious of is obviously we're commentating this game, but I'm conscious of the other games going on. They're at 9 ends and 10 ends and 10 ends, and so we probably need to get the lights on. It was definitely a factor that we noticed yesterday. Once the clouds come over, it gets dark pretty quickly.
So, what has Dan Salmon conjured there? He's gone around the back, good home.
Aaron T's backhand it is.
Has he gone too wide here, Baz?
It's the right intent, just to give it a little chance, sit the bowl or trailer jack, just missing slightly high. But
it did come back a lot.
Yeah, it's in a good home. It splits those two red ones up. So if Aaron was to be successful in sitting that red bowl, they've got a bit of insurance.
So Jared Breen needs to keep things tight. They're 6 ahead. That's a full count, which is a pretty healthy advantage. Lights have just popped on.
Jared Breen on the backhand. Aaron T's giving his leg a little tap. Well, Jared's played a cracker there.
That is a cracker. He has been, both of them, I don't think there's superlatives to describe how the Welsh have performed in this match. They've been brilliant in every way.
Yeah, both very experienced, even though very youthful. Daniel's been coming over here for a while. Had a lot of good battles against Daniel. Jared's worked his way up through the youth team.
Aaron Wilson, he's interested, and that jack has gone flying away. So, winning bowl, not played yet, Baz.
You're probably all over it, Val, but I think, did Daniel Salmon win the World Under-25 singles in Broadbeach? I reckon about 6 or 7 years ago.
I'll have a look.
Been coming out of here for a while. Daniel Salmon, 2-time Commonwealth Games gold medalist. As Aaron Wilson has
2017 World Youth Championship. Sorry, Baz. Yes, he won in 6 years ago.
There you go. I knew you wouldn't be far away from that one, mate. Looking in your notes there.
Wikipedia knows all.
So Jared Breen, forehand. He's got 2 feet, 2.5 feet of room. Needs to hurry. So that would have reached really easily about an hour ago. And it's just pulling up now.
So Australia holding sway here. Aaron Wilson, an opportunity, Baz, to pop in a second. This would make things interesting.
Yeah, got to make the most of this. Probably a yard of room. Yeah, on a really nice road. Not going to make
It's
it.
not going to get there. And, well, I think Disco really needed to make that. That makes the task all the more difficult here.
So a little team chat there. What are we going to do? The call is Matt on the tee, Jack in the middle. And that I really like. The reason I like it is because when you're chasing a number, as Australia is trying to chase a multiple here, because if they don't get a multiple, let's say they only get a 1, 4 is going to be a tough ask last end. What I like about this is if the jack's short and it's up the green, there's a lot of room and a lot of ability for you to have your bowls past the jack.
Yep, and you're not losing them in the ditch.
Correct, and you can be 6, 7, 8 feet past the jack, be in a scoring area, and be on the green. Whereas if you're chasing a number and you put the jack on the tee and then you slightly overcook it, you're on the bank and out of the game.
So this end is going to go a long way to deciding what the result will be, and if Australia are any shot at this. Good start from Teasy.
Yeah, so the current Commonwealth Games gold medalists in Daniel Salmon and Jared Breen, arguably the favourites coming into this event.
If they weren't, they have stormed to favouritism now.
Yeah, Aaron Wilson, Aaron Tees, always going to have their work cut out.
Really tough to draw this pair in your section, but there's a reason why they are the Commonwealth champions.
Nice shot, Aaron Tees.
Yep, so he's put 2 in a really good spot. Is this the end that changes things and turns the match on its head?
Well, it's thrown Daniel Salmon. These are nearly his 2 worst lead bowls in this direction. And that shorter length's just thrown him a touch.
Yep, it really has, but he's got one more. Has this tactic worked for Australia? Teasy needs it to get back.
He's done well.
And it will. So there's 3.
And he hasn't really set up a target. He's left some gaps as well. So Daniel, he used to be slightly over, and there is a couple of holes there for him, but I expect Daniel Salmon here just to correct.
As he has done all day. Dan Salmon.
He's telling it to slow down again.
It is going pretty quick.
Just needs to turn for him now.
It is going
He's done well.
to get in for, is it the shot?
If not, it's definitely second.
Yep.
And that helps a lot, especially
and it's
having
just
last bowl.
Yeah, it's in the worst possible spot for the Aussies too. But Disco's got a lot to work with.
Aaron Wilson's just got to pack the head for me. Maybe look for a number a little bit later on. If you can draw 2, there's only 3 in it. With 1 to play, it's very gettable.
Yep.
But just for me, just get another one in there. Any jack touch is a bonus. If he gets it slightly down the line on his forehand, he can possibly make 3. So backhand it is. Try and just touch the jack into that little nest over there in the left-hand side.
I tell you what, he's not far away. Oh, not far away at all. So now it's up to Jared Breen. Almost at the 2-hour mark here. There's an end to play after this. We've been treated to a really good match here this afternoon, and Wales have been enormous.
And you can see the green there looking lighter on screen. Lights are on.
They are.
And those modern LED lights, just amazing what they've done for bowls clubs.
Jared Breen a bit wide. So that last bowl of Dan Salmon really affecting things as we see them here. What is Disco going for here, Baz?
Yeah, he's trying to sit Daniel Salmon's bowl, but he needs it solid.
Yep.
Can he get it solid and stay?
He doesn't want the Oh, how that avoided the jack, I'm not quite sure.
They need another one in there, Wales. Aaron Wilson. He can sit that Daniel Salmon bowl square or just off centre and stay for 3. Jared Breen. Aussies have tried this new short length on the Welshman. And Jared Breen said it's not quite going to work.
Has made it work. That is brilliant. Right on top of it now. What's the go for Aaron Wilson? Does he sit them? Does he try and get rid of them both? The problem is the Aussies have a lot of bowls around there as well.
I think it's just an 18-inch draw. Try and just touch the jack slightly around the corner. Try and make 1 or 2. Got to score here. If they don't score and they're 2 down, well, that's...
Aaron Wilson.
Could you try and draw the shot here, Aaron Wilson? He's done it.
He has got it. All right, well, that's 1. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, it's still 1.
It is.
So,
Jeez, that almost went a bit awry.
so Jared Breen, his job here is to not drop any more than 1. So he doesn't want the front red onto jack, back 2 feet for 2 down potential, or right back. So it's just minimal weight. Just looking to sit the shot bowl with probably 4 to 6 feet. He's in the area here. He's very close.
Jared Breen, not far away. I think he's going to find the gap. He is.
Just missing high. Probably just slightly heavier than what he wanted. So 4 shots is the deficit heading into the last end. I think Australia probably do that again. As I said, don't want to put the jack around the tee and waste any. They need every one of those 6 deliveries on this last end.
They do.
And they
It's
need
going to
them in
be
play.
short. It's going to be short. Now, you look at the ends that Australia have won. There's 8 of them, of the 17 that we've played, and 6 of them have been singles. So Wales have always been in the area and made them work for every end, bearing in mind Australia led this after 7 ends, 8-4. And they led at the halfway point, 8-7. Wales stormed home with 6 ends in a row to rectify that 8-4 deficit and make it 14-8 in their favour. They have been monumental.
So ditch to ditch it is.
Yeah, it's been longer. This is interesting.
So
As are they just trying to toy with Wales and make them continue to change and back themselves in here?
Yeah.
He's gone to the tee. That's good.
So it could be just a bit of a pattern change. They're just trying to break Wales's rhythm, or they just back themselves over their favourite length. And going into this with their discipline meetings and all their chats heading into this championship, Teasy and Disco would have had a favourite length that they would have discussed. And I think they've just said, well, let's play our favourite length, and that's long.
A 4 ties it. A 5 wins it. Anything for Wales. And they're home. They look home. They look comfortable. They look relaxed.
Will my favourite saying start coming into play here, Vel?
A yard more after 4.
It's not how many, it's when. And Aaron Tees has nailed the jack.
Aaron Tees. And it's resting on it. It's when you play them. You're right, Baz. You've got a few favourite sayings.
Daniel Salmon has had a great game. It's a matter of doing it when it really matters now. And he's not far away here.
Daniel Salmon, is he going to sit it? Oh, he's going to...
Played it well, though.
He has.
Aaron Tees has got to beat that last ball now. Aaron Wilson needs to be holding 2 on the crossover, and he's 3. Can make the win. So Teasy on the backhand here now. It's not bad to there. It's going to get back.
It's coming. It is coming. Disco wanted to hurry. And it's done enough. That is the 2. So it's time for Daniel Salmon to obstruct things and put a bowl in there. Wales want to see a red in amidst that blue.
Daniel Salmon just waiting for the player next door. So that gives you an indication of the type of lines they're drawing here. The next door rink coming into play or coming into Daniel's eye. He's played this very well today.
Yeah, he likes it. He's walking in behind it. Daniel Salmon, this is close. He's really looking now. He's inspecting. He likes it a lot. Hasn't got enough. He crashes in on Aaron Tease's bowl, but that is the two that you alluded to, Baz.
Yeah, it's Aaron Tease is going to have a little confirmation for us here.
Two.
Yep, he's happy. So Aaron Wilson either draws 2 for a draw, or we can get somehow get all 3 in there for a win. Well, we've got a game on all of a sudden.
We do.
So Ditch to Ditch has seen Daniel Salmon just pull up with 2 of them, pull up short. As Aaron Tease managed to win the battle, holding a 2. This one here really shapes everything up.
Yep. If he nails this, how quick is he going though?
Yeah, it looks to be just going a touch.
But it's coming.
Needs to turn now.
It is turning.
Yeah, that one's in.
That has...
Oh, if it's not in, it's close.
Nah, it's fallen in. I reckon... Teasy, I don't know. Very close. Oh, my word.
So Jared Breen has 2.5 feet to draw second shot here. I know he'd be preferring to do it with his first.
The Australians have constructed this end really nicely. They need a 4 to tie it, but Jared Breen has played almost to perfection today.
I don't think he's here.
This is tight.
He's going to get 3 looks at it though, Val.
Yep.
He's going to get 3 looks, Jared Breen, but Aaron Wilson, it's important than what he knows here.
Just out. Yep, so he's going to try and sit this bowl away and stay, and then there's the 4.
Aaron Wilson.
On the backhand.
He's definitely arriving.
Has he got enough?
He's just going to miss high, but it's a great attempt. It's going to go to a good home. Creates another option. They got 4 around the tee. They've actually got the 5 closest to the tee minus the Welsh bowl. So it might create another option, perhaps. Go quick for the jack. Blue bowl through red or something. Always looking a couple of bowls ahead. Jared Breen.
He's under.
Ditch to ditch. Well, he's good weight.
Yep, so this is it for Aaron Wilson. If he can nail it, he'll make Jared Breen play the last bowl to win it.
Basically the same bowl from
Yep.
Aaron Wilson. Minor correction required. His weight was pretty much exactly what he needed. Looks to be tighter.
Aaron Wilson stalking. Teasy's now on his haunches. Disco's in behind it. Wants it to hurry. Oh, and he's not got it. It's gone through.
Unbelievable weight control by
what
Aaron
an
Wilson.
effort. What an effort.
That was enough to lift that red bowl for 4.
Yep. They both liked it, but it just turned as we've seen all day. Now, I reckon this is just going to be safe weight here for Jared Breen. He doesn't want to risk too much happening.
No, same weight. Just throw it out on a higher line. He doesn't want to be dropping a multiple to finish the day. Ideally, just try and play a high line, flop in for shot.
They have shaken hands. And let's just watch this come in. And that is going to be, I believe, 2 to the Australians to finish things off, Baz.
Yeah, what a great game. The conditions were pretty tricky at times. Probably most of the day, really, outside probably the first 10 ends of the day between Alan Ryan and Kumara from Sri Lanka. But, yeah, both players for Australia battled their way through that. And Daniel Salmon and Jared Breen, well, they're the Commonwealth Games gold medalists, and they've come from Northern Hemisphere conditions, and they've brought their A game. So
They certainly
well done
have.
to all 4 players, and well done to you, Val. Great day, mate.
Same to you, Barry Lester. You'll be tuning in, or you'll be joining me, tomorrow at Mudgery Bar for another action-packed day at the World Bowls Championships of 2023. And look, I think the team, or the Welsh team, if they weren't favourites beforehand, they have stormed into favouritism for this men's pairs title with that performance. Jared Breen and Dan Salmon, as you said, Baz, they were absolutely sensational.
Yeah, very. You can see they've got the chemistry just in their body language and the way they back each other up. But now it's nearly perfect conditions. But yeah, there's just a couple of multiples that hurt them, as you put in your stats there, Val, and they're the ones that hurt you, because in a perfect world, dropping ends isn't that bad a thing, but just those multiples can be hard to catch up sometimes, and they can get away on you. And that's probably what happened in that game there, where Australia found themselves just chasing towards the end of the game.
Well, 9 ends each, and that's, well, they split them pretty much, with Australia winning the last 3 there, but couldn't get the job done. A huge win for Daniel Salmon and Jared Breen, 15-13. A big thank you to you, Baz.
Thank you, mate. Great job as always.
We'll see you at Mudgery Bar tomorrow, where we're going to be doing men's triples, Australia versus Malaysia, then women's singles, Alan Ryan back in action against Cyprus, and then we'll finish the day with men's triples, Australia versus France. It's been Val Febo and Barry Lester at Club Helensvale. A big thank you to Lachlan Williams for his efforts again today with your pictures. He's done a fabulous job yet again. Thank you for your company. We'll catch you tomorrow. Have a great night. Another big day of action on Thursday at the World Bowls Championships.